only Gotham has maintained order thanks to the vigilante gang being led by the Batman, adding to the massive credibility nightmare.
Time you learn what it means to be a man.
The man's a danger to every citizen of Gotham.
If Superman was not involved, if he's got nothing to hide, then why hasn't he been seen?
The Bat is dead. Bury him. Consider this mercy.
We are criminals, Clark. We always have been. You're still one too. Only difference is you have a boss.
He answers to no one. Not even, I think, to God.
I wanted to remind you to stay out of my way. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
This is extremely dangerous
to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Sometimes the age-old adages prove why they have been around for so long. The more things change, the more they stay the same. There is an aspect of these stories that remains constant. Corporate media serves its natural villain role as the enemy of the people in both of these monumental DC stories. In Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, with the only exception of the nationwide emergency broadcast, the fictional media goes uninterrupted, stirring up panic surrounding the re-emergence of the Batman. Every broadcast featured conflicting points of view on the same subject, designed to overload the public consciousness with options as how to think. The news media in the story consistently features anti-Batman advocate Dr. Bartholomew Wolpert, which builds a false sense of credibility by hearing from him more than any alternative point of view. He is constantly lecturing about how Batman is inspiring violent and revolutionary sentiments among the youth and is a menace to society. Meanwhile, the national discussion about the US government and Superman's involvement in nuclear war is non-existent. 30 years later, nothing about these tactics have changed. A contributing factor to the brilliance of BVS is the use of real-life media figures and the paranoid persecution that they subject people to. Jon Stewart, Vikram Gandhi, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Nancy Grace, and others play themselves as newscasters to further test the fictional world on reality. However, the media's outrage in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition is directed at Superman. They question every move he makes, project their own corrupted values onto him, and fuels the debate as to whether or not Superman acts in America's interest. Public opinion is malleable in the hands of media. In both of these monumental DC epics, the media blames the crime of inflicting the general horror of tyranny on the public, on the man who is not actually committing it. In Miller's story, the media hardly mentions Superman as he manipulates the outcomes of global conflicts, but repeatedly speaks on the Batman as he protects Gotham citizens by single-handedly fighting a gang war. In Snyder's story, the media perpetuates constant hysteria about Superman as he saves children from fires, yet refuses to mention Batman's oppressive rampage. In fact, Clark Kent is the only person in the entire national media conglomerate that wants to report on the crimes of the Batman. However, in a time where men fall from the sky, crime in Gotham is not shocking news. It is unknown exactly why the media shifts the blame from the perpetrator, but this is how the outlaw is created. The constant hysteric dialogue of unconfirmed accusations and suspicions diverts all attention to the accused. The position of Batman and Superman in our world has shifted greatly over the last 30 years. However, the one thing that has remained constant in both of these DC stories is the media's tactics. In 30 more years, in 2046, will their tactics remain unchanged still?